Is this a haunting? My home, body, and luck are falling apart. And they put this picture in. I'm not really sure what this picture is, but it looks like hair, and I don't know what's up with the hair. This is my attempt at summarizing. Hi, everyone. I've been hesitant to post this, but I feel like I'm at a point where I can't ignore what's happening anymore. Physically and practically, my life has been unraveling, and something bigger than me feels like it's taking over my life. This all started about 3 years ago, around the time my dog Kobe was diagnosed with kidney failure. He was always such a strong, independent dog. Walks with me were the only time he was truly attached. But during that period, he became unusually dependent and needy, almost like he knew something bad was coming. Shortly before this past Christmas, my mom called me crying, saying that Kobe probably wouldn't make it to Christmas. When I came home for the holiday, he wasn't the Kobe that I knew. He was weaker, more clingy, and strangely dependent on me. That Christmas break felt heavier because we came closer in this strange, intense way. The first week of January, I got really sick, vomiting in unusual shapes, and that's when a freak accident at work happened. Someone came late to my yoga class and dropped a glass water bottle. I tried to clean it up myself, injured my hand, fainted, and was fired for not following proper protocol, even though there was no first aid kit. Fighting it through HR didn't work, and that incident marked the start of a chain of chaos in my life. Around the same time, my paranormal experiences began escalating. 3 years ago, I was having sleep paralysis where a creepy hand was beside me, holding me down. At the beginning of this year, I woke up all morning with my hands inflamed, and my boyfriend had even said that they looked like old lady hands. Then I started seeing dark shadows in Kobe's room while he was still alive. He screamed in pain at night, and marks would appear where he had been. I now see these same marks everywhere. My body and skin feel stretched. My scalp is a mess. Added a picture of that. My hair suddenly went red. I'm normally brunette, doing blonde. And sensations of being physically squished or pulled. My boyfriend recently slept over and felt something pressing on his chest. My apartment has become unmanageable to handle. Garbage trails follow me, hair clippings, and even my foot clippings vanish. Appliances echo after I turn them off. Chairs move when no one's there. Stains and garbage trails follow me everywhere. My apartment, my parents' house, even my car. No matter how much I clean, sweep, or vacuum, nothing makes a difference. Pest control, environmental checks, and professional cleaning haven't solved anything. I spent $7,000 to fix my car. BMW told me that I wasn't going crazy and that my oil engine had a leak because there was some chewing or tampering with the wire there. And then it looked like someone had dumped like over a gallon of coffee in the center console, so right underneath my armpit would rest. Looking back when this whole thing started, bad stuff was happening. But I just kept thinking like, okay, that's not in alignment with me, I guess, and I just kept trying to stay positive, and even with the lucid dreaming, I was like, I don't want to give whatever this is power. For example, 2 years ago, my best friends since high school randomly ghosted me shortly after I ended my engagement. I hadn't fully opened up about it, but even now, looking back, I realized they should have supported me, especially after a 10-year friendship. Around that same period, I was fired from my full-time marketing job. I pivoted to teaching yoga and Pilates, and things were going really well. But it seems like whatever is following me isn't happy with me making the best of my life. Since then, I've had freak accidents, lost opportunities, and even tried spiritual cleansing, church visits, and professional help, including a scam black magic clearing that cost me money. Nothing works. It's reached a point where I can't even do the things I love anymore. I can't stretch in yoga or Pilates without feeling wrong in my body. I'm all frazzled. Things fall out of my hands or I drop things and I can't form proper sentences sometimes if someone asks me a question. Things randomly appear. Stains show up and I feel like I'm being physically pulled down. Like gravity itself is against me. I feel trapped in my own body and my own space. I haven't even been able to properly grieve Kobe because I'm fighting something that I don't understand and it's isolating. My fingers randomly turn black and I feel like my beauty and energy are being stripped away. Sometimes I feel like my place is mirroring my grandmother's I was named after. I wake up and catch myself standing or moving like her, and it's unsettling. One morning my hands looked like old lady hands. She had stains everywhere in her home, mostly water stains, but As a kid, I always thought that they looked like eyes, and I remember being weirded out by certain objects in her house. Now, I have similar marks, and it creeps me out. The day after she died, there was a bird watching me and Kobe. Once, while vacuuming my apartment in frustration, I looked out at the porch. I live near an airport on the top floor, and there was that same bird staring at me from the side. I've heard that we sometimes, quote, pay for the sins of our grandparents or ancestors, and sometimes I feel like that might be what's happening to me. My grandparents worked incredibly hard for money, and they would have done anything for it. And now, being basically broke, it makes me question if some of this is tied to them. A friend once told me that spirits can latch on and make you think they're familiar when they're not. Thinking about it this way has made me feel conflicted about my grandparents, even though I know it's not fair. And yet, the experience feels eerily similar or connected to them. I've asked for clarity on what this is, but it doesn't reveal itself. It stays hidden enough to cause stress on day-to-day living while making me look messy, disoriented, stupid, and repulsive. Has anyone experienced anything like this? Even advice on how to reclaim your space, body, and energy when something invisible seems to be actively harming you would be helpful. I'm desperate. If you made it this far, thank you so much for reading. I know this is long and a lot to take in. I just can't think straight these days, and I'm doing my best to get it all out. I really appreciate anyone who takes time to listen and share advice.
If you want extra content weekly, head over to patreon.com/storytimesociety and become a member on there for extra content. Love you.
It sounds like you need to call Ed and Lorraine Warren. Except not the Ed and Lorraine Warren from real life, the one from The Conjuring. Because sorry, but the one from real life, that's not my Ed Warren. Or my Lorraine Warren, honestly. Because why did it's actually so sad. Because I saw the most recent Conjuring in the movie theaters, like the 4D movie theaters where the seat moves and stuff. And they are so cute, obviously. Like, love them to death in those movies. They're everything. But then when I listened to like 3 podcasts about them, about the real Lorraine and Ed Warren, Ed was like a literal pedo, and he was dating, like cheating on Lorraine with like a freaking 13 or 14 or something year old assistant. And I'm pretty sure Lorraine knew about it and like just let it happen and all this other stuff that was like really pissing me off. Because come on, really? Why can't I just have like, why can't it just be regular? And like, oh, look at that. Why can't it? They really made so many movies off these people, and that's who they are in real life. Like, damn, I was romanticizing the hell out of them. It's really fucked up. Okay, the top comment says, crazy thought. Could your boyfriend poison first your dog to test it and then start poisoning you? How's your relationship going? That's kind of crazy to think about. And then someone responded to that and said, so many people are suggesting that it's your current boyfriend, but that seems unlikely since he could just leave, unless he's a psychopath. Why would he slowly try to poison you? The motivation doesn't make sense. I think it's someone in your former yoga class who has been targeting you out of jealous rage. Did the bad luck begin as he began showing interest in you during or after class? And you do seem to have a negative spiritual phenomenon going on, which you could return with a mirror spell. As for the leaking engine problem in your BMW, German cars have extremely high maintenance costs and frequently underbody problems. That's tea, because I'm pretty sure aren't Volkswagen Bugs German? Because, yeah. Because my freaking Bug had so many damn problems like that. Okay. So, wait, I want to see if she ever updated. She did leave this long comment that I'm going to read, but I want to see. No updates, but this comment looks like an update, honestly. I feel like it's so many like spiritual things are happening when he's not around, though. Or maybe he's a warlock and he's casting spells on you or sending bad black magic energy to you. Okay, let's read her comment. She said, yeah, one situation stands out specifically when we first started seeing each other. I didn't want anyone to know because people at the gym love to gossip. So for a few months, it was really quiet, just some of our close friends knew. He still took my classes, and on Friday, a girl came up to me after her class. I had quoted something from The Body Keeps Score, and she asked me about the book. I had never seen her before, and she said something like, oh, I see you reading by the pool a lot with your Kindle. I said, yeah, I love that thing. I recommend anyone who likes to read to get one. And then she said in the sassiest voice, I would never use Kindle because I like to support the authors. Weird. I mean, maybe someone can help me debunk that now. You're still supporting the authors when you buy off Kindle, right? Sorry, off topic. Anyway, I was cleaning up after class. She had just left, and my boyfriend was waiting till everyone left to come back in, and he kissed me. But the doors were open a little bit, and I noticed her looking in. I laughed awkwardly and brushed it off. Also, when she saw me see her, she didn't look away. And then he walked out and was putting his shoes on in the hallway, and I overheard her saying to him, you should come with me to so-and-so's class. And he brushed it off, but I could still hear her talking. Later, I asked him if he knew her, and he's like, I think I've seen her in passing a few times, but I've never spoken to her. So it was really strange when I realized, like, okay, it was after she saw his kiss that she suddenly wants a random guy to go to a yoga class with her. Anyway, I took a class one day, and I was changing in the storage closet outside of the yoga studio. One of my best friends was standing outside waiting for me, and I heard a Kindle girl's voice, and she was talking loudly, and as the conversation progressed, I could hear her more clearly. Kindle Girl mentioned my name and said, I don't really like her classes because they're not accessible to people and not everyone's flexible. My best friend knows that I always make sure it's accessible and I always offer modifications. It's one of the most important things about my classes. Said, really? Because I'm pretty sure she's one of the only teachers I know that actually gives you modifications. And then the girl said, oh no, and I also injured myself after. Also, it's not fair because she's overly flexible and focuses her class on that. Again, not true. Yoga is not about flexibility. It's about feeling good in your body. I always made my peak poses something about strength or balance. I was fuming, to be honest. I was debating going out and being like, bitch, do you have something to say to my face? Or to act aloof. When I walked out, the girl didn't seem totally shocked to have seen me. She was like, oh, I'm going to try your class again this week. And then I was going to call her out, but I decided sometimes it's better to just take the high road. So I just said, oh, that's great. I'm excited. Then she just starts telling me about her life. It was really weird, and I've always been the type of person that I can't be fake, and people that can talk shit behind your back and then be so nice towards you have always freaked me out. Anyway, afterwards, my friend called me and said, I'm proud of you that you didn't just rage on her because she definitely knew you were in the storage closet and she definitely was inching her way closer there to make you hear her. I don't think she thought I would defend you. I saw the look on her face when I did. I think she wanted to make sure you feel powerless. A few days later, a lovely lady told me, you really need to start wearing crystals and stuff to protect yourself. You need to be more careful because I think people are just waiting for your downfall. I don't think that girl specifically hexed me, but that was just an example of the frustrating shit I used to encounter. I think that that's why this whole thing feels like a hex because my whole life I never really fit into where I grew up. To be honest, it's filled with flashy, entitled, judgmental, jealous people. And as I say this, having experienced firsthand being judged for not having the latest season of Chanel, I was really excited for this new chapter on my own. And instead, I have to rely on my parents just to get by. Constantly fighting with them because I've spent so much money trying to fix myself, and yet I've never looked worse. I didn't speak to my dad a week after he said that, and instead I have to rely on my parents just to get by. Constantly fighting with them because I've spent so much money trying to fix myself, and yet, quote, I've never looked worse, unquote. I didn't speak to my dad for a week after he said that, and when he apologized, he said, I'm sorry, I just think you looked better 2 years ago. Followed by my mom telling me I need to get it together because I'm going to lose a great guy, and her disappointment in me when I say, if I lose him, then he's not a great guy because right now I need support, not judgment. And on top of this, having to deal with the weirdest, freakiest, uncomfy shit that I would not wish on the person who probably hexed me or any single person. If you're still reading this, thank you. I hope I didn't overshare. I just hope that this can give a little bit more backstory on why I think it was a hex. It's just maddening if it is because I've always been open and honest with people about my own struggles. I tried to mind my business, be there for people when they needed me. And now I'm in the current state I'm in. And Yeah. I'm so scared of Kindle Girl. Kindle Girl is really freaking me out. For real. And Kindle Girl can actually fuck off.
If you want extra content weekly, head over to patreon.com/storytimesociety and become a member on there for extra content. Love you.
Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.